Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Star Wars Headlines here at laughingplace.com. I'm Rebekah Mosley, the co-founder of Laughing Place, and with me is Mike Celestino. Hey, Mike, how's it going?
It's going well. How are you?
I'm doing okay, except an Alexa is going off in the other room, so I'm gonna quickly go make that stop, and I'll let you talk a little bit about
Okay,
Boba Fett while I do that.
sure. We are now about a month away from the premiere of Star Wars: The Book of Boba Fett on Disney Plus. It's the second Star Wars live action series to be made for the Disney streaming platform. It's a spin-off of The Mandalorian. And yesterday we got some new promotional materials for the show, including a new, very short TV spot and some character posters for the characters of Boba Fett and Fennec Shand, who you see seated there on the throne formerly occupied by Bib Fortuna, as we saw at the end of The Mandalorian season 2. And of course, it's inside Jabba's palace on Tatooine that they have now taken over, and they're going to be also taking over Jabba's whole criminal enterprise, and we're going to see how that goes. Can we scroll down and see the
Yeah, sure.
posters? Sure.
I was like Phoebe with that fire alarm. I finally just had to unplug it. I couldn't get it to stop, guys. But how far you want me to go down, Mike?
Just to see the posters, I think.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So there's Boba Fett himself with the new black under armor wear that he's wearing. And then we got Fennec Shand. And I'm guessing they're going to do a similar thing to what we've gotten with The Mandalorian and Bad Batch, where we'll get a new character poster every week that are probably going to be kept mostly secret until we see who they are. There's a new shot that's in this trailer of Boba Fett in the Bacta tank, kind of getting healed up from his Sarlacc pit damage, which is interesting.
Let me pull back a little bit more. There
There it
you
is.
go.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar to how we saw Luke in Empire Strikes Back, submerged in the Bacta healing liquid. And now you've seen the tank in one of the previous trailers for Book of Boba Fett, but now you get to see him inside there. There
Yeah,
weren't
and
too many. Yeah,
I was
go
going to
ahead.
say, in another one of the TV spots that appeared, we got to see a little bit more of that city that we're all so fascinated by, because we're wondering if it is Tatooine or not,
Right.
because it's a far more complex developed than we've thought of Tatooine previously. So
Yeah. Also, I feel like they keep coming up with too many cities that should be on Tatooine. Like they keep it like there was that scene in The Mandalorian in season 2 where Peli Motto, what's her name? Amy Sedaris's character, she like shows the map of Tatooine. She's like, here's Mos Eisley, here's Mos Espa, and here's Mos Pelgo, which is the city that he goes to. And there's like really like nothing else. It's pretty deserted planet. A few little settlements here and there. So the idea that there would be this big city, I don't know if that fits in with that, but we'll find out, I guess.
for sure, definitely. Continuing with Disney Plus and Star Wars television content, there's been some casting news kind of leaking out here and there. I don't has it. I don't know. I guess it's been official because
Well, I think these have come out through the trades like Hollywood
okay.
Reporter and Variety, so that's usually pretty accurate. They don't really publish anything that's not verified through their sources, and it's not like coming out of some nobody, Twitter
Right.
account or something.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying. So these are while they aren't official from like Lucasfilm particular, they're in publications that are
Yeah,
reliable sources. I
like
got
this one is from Deadline, which is another
you.
one of those industry trade publications. And this actress I'm not familiar with, Ivana Sockno.
That's how I'd say it as well. Sockno.
We don't know who she's playing, but that's who she is. I don't even know what else she's been in.
She's
So
previously been in Pacific Rim Uprising
okay.
and Hulu's series High Fidelity.
Oh, all right.
So those are some of the roles that when in our write-up were highlighted by the team. And this is for Ahsoka, which it's looking for at a March 2022 production. start date. So we're looking at series that are way off in the future. They also announced, it's also been reported that Sabine has been cast.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. I know everybody's excited to see Sabine return, this character from Star Wars Rebels, who at the end of that series, she was kind of heading off with Ahsoka to find their friend Ezra Bridger, who disappeared with Grand Admiral Thrawn. And we saw in The Mandalorian that Ahsoka is still looking for Grand Admiral Thrawn. So I guess it's all going to tie together, and we'll get some live action Sabine
And this
action.
And this actress is Australian born. And in looking at her bio, they talk about how she's a Taekwondo black belt. So to me, that shows, a martial arts background, which really makes sense. In thinking about kind of where the character role could go. So I got a little bit more excited in learning and reading a little bit more about her bio. So yeah, fun stuff coming in that world of Ahsoka. We already know that we're gonna get to revisit Hayden Christensen as Anakin. Well, we think we Anakin Darth Vader. We're not totally sure, right?
Yeah,
So
he's going to be in both Obi-Wan and Ahsoka, as far as we know.
So exciting stuff continuing to develop for Disney. For Star Wars on the smaller screen. Also on television in the recent holiday special, they highlighted the upcoming Starcruiser and introduced us to some of its inhabitants.
Right. So this was on the Wonderful World of Disney Magical Holiday Celebration, and I think the actor's name is Sean Giambroni from the Goldbergs.
Yes.
He got a tour of the Galactic Starcruiser down there at Walt Disney World, and we saw a couple things they had talked about already, and then they introduced us to this character called Gaia, Gaya, which I spelled wrong when I first wrote about her as Gaia. Oh, there he's going to the hyperspace lounge, I think it's called, or sublight lounge on this ship, hyperspace lounge on the Disney Wish. But
Right.
Gaia is the Twi'lek singer who's going to perform during the first night dinner in the big restaurant.
Yeah,
On
really.
board the Galactic Starcruiser.
Really
Halcyon.
amazing. I mean, I didn't want the performance to end. I wanted to hear more of it. I look forward to maybe a little bit, maybe albums. That'd be fun.
And
So,
everybody keeps bringing up The Fifth Element, the movie with Bruce Willis, because there's a scene in that movie where they go to like a futuristic space opera, and the lead singer in the opera is an alien that looks kind of like a Twi'lek. So it's kind of, I don't know who's borrowing from who or what, but maybe they borrowed the look of that alien, and then Star Wars is borrowing it back to have this singer perform in a place that kind of looks like a Fifth Element set. So I don't know. But people have pointed that out.
Did you find that the footage of Sean running through the ship increased your excitement for the Galactic Starcruiser, or no? Because I know quite a few people are surprised by how pristine, I guess, the location is. That's not something typical in some ways. I mean, for me, when I think of pristine, I think of the Tantive, images of the Tantive 4, but
yeah, the thing is, like, most of what we saw, especially in the original trilogy, is all supposed to be like very aged and worn and lived in. That was the whole concept of Star Wars. But then when they rewound time and did the prequel trilogy, we saw a lot more of that kind of stuff when they're in like Coruscant, on Coruscant in the Jedi Temple or the Senate building. That stuff's all pretty pristine. And then when you go to Canto Bight in The Last Jedi, that's where all the rich people are hanging out in the galaxy. So they're keeping that pretty pristine. So there are parts in the movies where we see locations like that. But yes, the first thing I think of when I think of Star Wars is the more rundown underworld parts of the galaxy. So it is going to be a little odd, but I think that they're partnering the Galactic Starcruiser experience with Batu, Galaxy's Edge, which is more like rundown and kind of what we think of when we think of Star Wars. So you have that contrast going that you will experience because you do visit Batu during this journey. So I think they thought of that. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's
It
just
remains to be seen.
I'm really fascinated by some of the criticisms that I'm seeing regarding the aesthetic. And I was just interested to know if it kind of struck you the same, or did you, or did it, or if it didn't. So, but
Yeah, I have had the same thought, and it isn't my favorite part of Star Wars.
gotcha.
So for that reason, I am a little hesitant about it, but there's so much about the Galactic Starcruiser that we're all kind of like waiting to find out a little bit more of before we can really commit to it 100%, I think.
Yeah, well, my son is part of an online like Imagineering club type scenario where they get together and they discuss theme parks and those kinds of things for kind of to help them develop their public speaking and that kind of thing. But it's online. And today I could hear him in the other room going, "No, I'm super excited about the Galactic Starcruiser because I went to the children's area of the cruise ship and and he talked a lot about how much he loved the Millennium Falcon experience that they have, in the kids lab of the Disney Cruise Line. And so for him, this is just kind of like that, on steroids. He's super, super excited about the idea of just it being even beyond that little section of the kids club. So yeah, I know there's a lot of discussion and debate. We're all eagerly awaiting its opening to see how people embrace it. And yeah,
I
March.
think
Is it March next year?
yeah, the end of March, just like 4 months away, I think. And or I don't know, I'm bad at math, but I think the big question is it worth the amount of money that people are going to be spending to go? And I think, if people walk away thinking that they got their money's worth, then it's worthwhile, and
Mhm.
otherwise it might inspire some changes, or I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out.
It is so ambitious among a very I don't what's the word about among a very specific group, right? A
Yeah,
very discerning. That's the word.
niche.
A group with, but they also
Yeah,
they have a discerning taste. I mean, you look at everything that goes into being part of 501st, right? All the submitting your name, getting your name approved, getting your uniform. There's just you can't just like randomly show up and be like, "Hey, I'm a Mandalorian. I'm joining
yeah.
up."
With
And
the stormtrooper mask that you cut out of a cereal box or
right.
something.
Yeah, so it's I'm super excited about it, but I'm also like very nervous for them. So there's like this internal struggle as a fan, as a Disney fan.
Yeah.
Let's see. Continuing with immersive experiences, Mike. Downtown Disney has one available for Star Wars fans.
Yeah, so I got to go down to downtown Disney probably a week or so ago. No, a week and a half. And that was before the opening day of this experience, which is a preview of Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, which is available on the Quest 2. I think it's also on the Quest 1 because I have that, but they told me they were promoting the Quest
Mm,
2. And it's got an expansion called Last Call that came out a couple of months ago. The game is complete. You can get it now, but they are letting guests go to the former ESPN Zone building at downtown Disney, and you go inside. You can either wait in the standby line or you can make a reservation in advance, and you go in. It's about a 8-minute experience putting on the goggles and walking around. You go to the cantina, the Cecil Slacks cantina, which is different from Oga's cantina, but you are on Batu in Black Spire Outpost, and then you can travel out in the wilderness and shoot some Guavian Death Gang members and stuff. So it's just cool. I think, they probably wanted to give the average Disney fan or Disney parks goer at least a taste of what this VR experience is like, because still I think a lot of people still don't own the home
right.
VR console. Like I definitely wouldn't have bought one yet at this point if I hadn't had to review the games Vader Immortal and then this one Tales from the Galaxy's Edge for Laughing Place. But it is fun to go and check this out, and you can see how you like it and see if it's something that you may want to pursue getting in the future, maybe for the holidays or whatever. But the experience there is free. You get some cool swag, which of course is in the other room that I can't show you. But yeah, it's great to go and check this out at Downtown
And
Disney District.
and we'll have the link below, but Mike had a great interview with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
producer Alyssa Finley,
yeah.
and they talk a little bit about kind of the role of this game within that expanded, Star Wars universe, and they talk a little bit about some of the things. It sounds like to me some of the things maybe they learned from earlier virtual experiences, and some of the adjustments that they've made with this particular Star Wars adventure. So it's a really interesting read. Once again, we'll link it below. Mike's interview with the show producer on this game.
Yeah, when I went down there, I kind of wasn't expecting to have like a one-on-one full like 10 minutes for me to sit down and chat with her. So I was kind of coming up with the questions on the fly, but I think the interview turned out really well. And I always like talking to those guys from ILM X Lab, which is the the immersive entertainment division of Lucasfilm. And the stuff that they come up with is so neat. They did the Void Secrets of the Empire experience that used to be at Disneyland Resort and got shut down basically because of the pandemic. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm always looking forward to seeing what they come up with next.
And let's see, Mike. Next up, we're going to be talking. We're moving into the world of comics. You actually did a little Life Day reading this week.
Yeah, so this issue was scheduled to come out on Life Day, which is November 17th, the anniversary of the release of the Star Wars Holiday Special. It got delayed because of the supply chain issues that everybody is having. It got pushed back a week and came out last week. And then because I was distracted by Thanksgiving, I didn't get to review it until today. Actually, I read and wrote a review of it. But it's just a fun, very warm, holiday themed issue. The wraparound story is about Han and Chewbacca going to Batuu. Actually, they've been there before. If you read the Galaxy's Edge comic, they visit Batuu there. But this is so it's between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. It's actually after Han has lost the Millennium Falcon, because at the beginning of The Force Awakens, we see Rey find the Millennium Falcon on Jakku.
Mm-hmm.
This is when he's lost it. It's actually earlier in the timeline than I would have guessed that he has lost control of the Falcon. But he and Chewbacca are on Batuu doing some shady dealings. They get in trouble, and Han is reminded of these kind of like Life Day memories that both he and Chewbacca had together. And then there's one that goes all the way back to the High Republic era that involves Chewbacca's father meeting the Jedi Padawan Buriyaga, who is a Wookiee Jedi Padawan in the High Republic. And at that point, the Drengir are these plant monsters in the High Republic that have invaded Kashyyyk, the Wookiee home planet. They deal with that. And then the other memories are like one's about Han and Chewie helping some Wookiees escape from a gang of Trandoshan slavers. And then the third one is Chewie and Han enlisting C-3PO's help in kind of this secret mission. So it's all very fun. It's all very lighthearted. It's not really like hardcore Star Wars mythos canon kind of thing. It touches on a few different eras of Star Wars storytelling, and the art is just very fun and colorful. And I think they designed this to be accessible to families and a younger audience. And it reminded me a little bit of that book, The Life Day Treasury, that came out earlier this year. That's also a collection of short stories about Life Day. And they really committed hard to Life Day this year. I feel like we got a lot of Life Day merchandise at the parks. We got books, we got comics, we got the cookbook and everything. So hopefully they continue with that. Every year we get more Life Day stuff.
Some of the standouts for me when it came to this comic is we get to see Oga.
Oh,
right?
yeah. I mentioned that in my review. This is actually the first time Oga Guerra from Galaxy's Edge, the owner of Oga's Cantina, actually shows up visually in a comic book. She's been in the novels before, in the Star Wars Black Spire novel. She shows up in there, but we've never really seen her in a visual medium. I know there was a drawing of her that came out from concept art or whatever, but other than that, like, we hadn't really seen her interacting with people. So that was cool.
So that was a real treat as I flipped through the pages. And then another part of it that connected with me is, with the Life Day being like a holiday, you can see how typical Earth celebrations, right, have kind of the writers, pulling upon their own memories and whatnot that kind of filters into these stories a little bit. And as I read one of the stories, the one with the Kudon, am I saying that right?
It's not something that's ever been said in a movie. So,
okay. So as that story was evolving, there's some elements of that storyline that to me harken back to some of the traditions that are embraced within Hanukkah, the traditions of Hanukkah. And so
I didn't know that. Okay,
that really reached out, to me, because it was like, oh, that's cool to
that
kind
is
of,
cool. No, I didn't
see part
make
of
that connection.
my own traditions kind of somewhat reflected. So
that's
yeah,
great.
a nice read. I haven't yet had a chance to check out the Life Day Treasury book yet, but this was wonderful. And like, I agree with you, Mike. I'm really thrilled to see them kind of fleshing out what Life Day is, and kind of giving it more traditions and stories and things to support kind of what it was in that holiday special that is so horrifically not great. So, but yet in its own way great because of the heart that it had. So
yeah.
So yeah. Let's see. Next up, traditions. The Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That just happened. And among the balloons this year was Grogu. So we had a lot of merchandise come out celebrating Grogu's arrival in the parade. I realized that perhaps you were as impressed by it as Weird Al was.
I love this picture. Yeah. He loves doing these funny tweets with different pictures and stuff. And I think he and his family either rented or own an apartment in New York right by the parade route, and saw Grogu going by there, and he acted like he was just doing some work on his laptop. Very funny.
I just thought that was so awesome. I was so excited about it. I was checking Twitter here and there to like find video or images of Grogu along the parade route, and then I stumble on this one where he's like, yeah, just catching up on some email. But Funko hopes you're more excited about it, because they've released a Funko Pop, keychain, some T-shirts. There's lots of merchandise out there to celebrate Grogu's arrival as a Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade balloon soaring over the streets of Manhattan.
Right, because the balloon isn't just Grogu. It is Grogu as the Funko Pop, as the balloon, right? Like it's in the Funko style with the dead eyes.
Yes, it is. It is a Funko Pop floating down the streets of Manhattan. Most definitely. And Funko has also, over at Entertainment Earth, we wanted to highlight this Funko Pop. It is in celebration of Luke Skywalker's appearance in The Mandalorian. Features his green lightsaber that will glow in the dark. Oh. So this is currently an Entertainment Earth exclusive, and you can find more about it among the links below. Continuing with all of the items you can bring home in the world of Star Wars, bring home the bounty. Week, I want to say 8. Yeah, week 8. This week, Mike, it had some unusual items. For example, these high fashion Jabba the Hutt earrings. They're tiger eye earrings in a silver setting. Yeah.
Oh, they're supposed to be Jabba's eyes.
To me, that's what I see. I see Jabba's eyes.
Yes. It took me a second to get that, but yeah.
Yeah,
that's
right?
kind of neat, I guess.
No, it's a bit out there for me.
I don't know if anyone would ever pick up on that, though.
That is the thing. They are especially if you have them like on each ear, it's gonna look a little differently. So, but if you're someone who enjoys really subtle nods to your Star Wars passion.
I mean, we're doing a Star Wars show right now, and it took me like 10 seconds to figure out what they were trying to do. So somebody just seeing you wearing, they wouldn't go, oh, Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, but if you want something more bold, there's a collection of stemless drinkware that they DBC's C3PO eyes, because that's my husband. But they have a collection of stemless drinking glasses celebrating Star Wars over at Joy Jolt. And those are a few of the things that are happening in the world of Star Wars, along with some dog toys from Chewy, Chewy.com. They have a large collection of Star Wars toys for your favorite four-legged friends. And I suspect we're going to be talking more about those on Barely Necessities, which is coming up here at 4 o'clock. But just wanted to be sure that anyone tuning in here who has a four-legged friend knew about Chewy.com. And finally,
I just want to say, like, my wife gets so upset by the volume of Star Wars dog toys that exist versus how many cat toys they make. Oh, that looks like a cat toy.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is. There you go. See, I was ready. I was like, I know where he's going with this. That is a cat household. Yeah, they have a few little catnippy type toys, so you can have your is it Calico?
Calico, yeah.
Yeah,
and Loda.
So Calico can chase Grogu around. So
that I have a feeling this might end up in our cat's stockings this year. And yes, my cats have Christmas stockings.
Oh, they even have some pet stockings. So you'll have to check out Chewy.com. See, I'm glad okay. I'm glad I'm able to let you know about that, Mike.
Great.
And I also wanted to let everyone know that T-Turtle, this is a website that has a lot of t-shirts, and they have a lot of Star Wars fun there. It's adorable versions of moments, along with poking a little fun too. My favorite being the "It's Over, Anakin" tee.
I just noticed that.
Right now, these shirts are half off, usually $25 during their Cyber Monday, Black Friday continuing sale. They are $12.50. So if you've ever considered T-Turtle shirts, be sure and check them out now, because the sales they've got are strong.
What is happening with that one with Chewbacca? And he set like a Christmas tree on fire. What is
I get the impression he ran into a little trouble with his Christmas lights, and so yeah, everything ended up going up in flames, and he just ended up tangled by the Christmas lights. So there you go. Kidder coming in with the fun fact that Chewy is an American online retailer and is based in Denaya Beach, Florida.
All right.
And shortly before we went on air here, Laughing Place published an article to let everyone know that Target has a collection of plush Star Wars Galaxy of Creatures, that series that's on Star Wars Kids YouTube. And then you've got little adorable cuddly Minox, Wampas, and other characters from the Star Wars universe that you can bring home from Target. Adorable, cuddly. But this is where Mike's Star Wars budget goes.
Here comes the rant.
Uh-oh. What's happened, Mike?
Okay, so I think we talked about this Rancor project before. There's a crowdfunded 6-inch scale Rancor. Now, that doesn't mean it's 6 inches tall. It means the Rancor is in scale with the 6-inch Star Wars Black Series action figure. So it's very, very big. It costs $350, but they're not going to make it unless 10,000 people, I believe it's 10,000, pledge that they're going to give them $350. So the way that they encourage more people to sign up is they add on these bonuses, which is every 1,000 people, I think, past the 10,000, they're going to add another little bonus item that you get. They did it with the sail barge here behind me, and the add-ons were fun. There was like a Jabba the Hutt. There was a Yak Face toy and stuff like that. With the Rancor, the first one was a Gamorrean guard, which makes sense. In the movie, Rancor eats the Gamorrean guard. The second one was a pile of bones, which sounds ridiculous, but I kind of get it, and I kind of like it because you can decorate around the Rancor like it's the Rancor pit. It also has the backdrop there, which is a cardboard thing, but at least it gives you like an environment. And it also has the bone that Luke uses to prop open the Rancor's mouth, and the bone that the skull that he uses to throw at the button that crashes the door down on him, I think. Anyway, then the third one was Salacious Crumb, which my first thought is like, okay, I already have Salacious Crumb in the Black Series because he came with Jabba the Hutt, with the Comic-Con exclusive Jabba the Hutt. I'm like, I don't need that. Why? Gamorrean guard I have as well, but there are multiple Gamorrean guards in the movie, so it's okay to have more than one. I don't need more than one Salacious Crumb. I want this to be something else. And like everyone was saying, it should have been the Rancor Keeper character,
Mm-hmm.
Mala Keeley. Just no brainer. It just makes sense that that would come with it. And then the fourth bonus add-on stretch goal thing is Luke Skywalker, which they haven't released Luke in the outfit he's wearing in Jabba's palace yet. They have released him looking like he does at the end of Return of the Jedi in the black outfit with the glove. This one does not have a glove because it's before his hand gets shot
Okay.
on Jabba's sail barge, and he has the hooded cloak, which is okay. I get it. That makes sense. Luke fights the Rancor in that outfit. Okay, but I think that this project would be doing a lot better if they had the Rancor Keeper in there somewhere, and
Mm-hmm.
the dancer Ula, who also falls down into the Rancor pit and gets eaten. Yes. Does she get eaten? I think so. Anyway, I think as of a couple days ago, they were just a little bit past the halfway point to getting to the 10,000 people. And I haven't checked in a couple days, but I think people are now thinking this might not happen, which I'm pretty sure it'll be the first one of these HasLab projects to not go through. And I think it's because they really fell short on these stretch goal bonuses because everybody seems to be disappointed by this. I'm clicking on it now to see how many people, but my
Okay.
computer is being really slow.
Yeah,
But
no, it's an interesting call. I mean, part of me kind of hopes that it's supply chain concerns or just maybe an overestimate of the kind of demand that was needed, needed to be built. What kind, just for a comparison, and perhaps you said it and I was, pulling up images and missed it, but what kinds of things came with the sail barge? Were they more
um,
unique in nature?
say it again. Sorry.
Were the sail barge items more unique in nature?
So it comes with a Jabba the Hutt toy. He's inside here, and then there's a Yak Face figure, which is just one of the other characters that lives on the
Okay.
sail barge or whatever, or in Jabba's palace. But I don't remember what other stuff would have been in there. But then they also did the Razor Crest last year, which
Mhm.
still hasn't like shipped out. People are still waiting to get that. But that
Wow.
had really cool, like that had great add-on stuff. Like there was a Jawa. I'm trying to remember Jawa toy with the egg.
Mhm.
Just it was like all stuff that made sense that goes with. I don't know. This one just felt very lackluster to me. I'm looking at it now, and it's got 4,759 backers out of it's 9,000. Now I wonder if that was changed.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe it was 9,000 all the time
I don't know
because
because it says, on this tweet I'm looking at, it says the mini card back only for this HasLab campaign. The stretch goal will be unlocked at 16,000 backers.
okay, yeah. I'm not sure. I guess it was 9,000 the whole time, and then like every 2,000 after that or something, you get one of the. But yeah, it doesn't seem like it might even happen at all. So it's kind of a bummer, because I was excited to get my hands on that Rancor.
Do you think that maybe the fact that the Razor Crest still hasn't been able to ship yet is also playing into a lack of ordering? Because I mean, I know that would make me, less likely to put money in again.
That might be part of it too. Maybe they should have waited for that to
So you have
happen.
kind of that excitement of people
Yeah.
opening it and then, okay, what's the next thing I can get? Because when you're already waiting on something, you're a little, less likely to be like, oh, let me buy something else.
Right. And I was also seeing in the comments, I was watching one of the Hasbro live streams, and people were saying, like, why are they doing this during the holiday season when people need money to buy gifts for other people?
Oh yeah.
And also, like, it's $350.
Whew.
And I feel like with the HasLab stuff, if they had just made this and sold it in the store, I don't think they would be charging as much for it. I think because it is a crowdfunded type of thing, they feel justified in charging a bit more. Like, I would think if they released this Rancor in stores, it would be like maybe $200. I don't know.
Oh, so like what you're saying is
350.
produce it in a wider release at a
Yeah.
lower price point rather than kind of going with this HasLab limited run and
Well,
therefore higher price point.
I understand their hesitancy to just put it out there because they don't know. They're using this to kind of gauge the demand, I think. But I do think maybe on this one, it was a little bit overpriced because I think the sail barge was so unique because it had never been made in that scale. The Rancor also has never been made in the scale before, but we have gotten a Rancor in the smaller scale that fits with the smaller scale action figures. The sail barge has never been made complete in the scale of any, I don't think of any scale of action figures. Even the 3 3/4 inch one was scaled down. So this thing behind me is just such
Right.
a unprecedented thing. I don't know. I still would really like to have that Rancor, so I hope it goes through. I was talking to my guest on the podcast this week, and she was saying that I guess with the Razor Crest, there was a point where it jumped a whole
Okay.
bunch, so that may happen again.
So maybe people are hesitant until they see kind
Yeah,
of the momentum on it, and then they'll
I
jump on
guess.
too. Okay. Interesting. Well,
We'll
I'm sure
see.
you'll keep us posted.
We are
I know you've been
yeah,
following it along here at Laughing Place. So,
we will find out in 6 days, so
well, there you go. Let's see. Over at Apple Arcade, they released a game that makes me jealous that I don't have Apple products, Mike. It's called Lego Star Wars Castaways. And as I eagerly await the forever delayed and continuing delayed arrival of Lego Skywalker Saga for the various platforms I already own, Apple people get to enjoy this fun, and I'm jealous. It's an action adventure game. You get various missions. You get to explore the planet, see all sorts of fun things. I don't know, Mike. Are you a Lego Star Wars kind of guy?
I am, but physical Legos, not as more than the video games. As you can see behind me. I I haven't tried this game, but how are they castaways? Are they like stranded on a planet?
Yeah, you're yes, you
Okay.
are. And you get to explore a variety of environments, some familiar, some unfamiliar. I know some of the video I was watching, they were at Mos Eisley. I know the other situations were, well, as it says right there on the screen in front of you, Jabba's Palace, Echo Base. So yeah, I don't. Oh man, I'm like I say, I'm jealous of the adventures that are happening in Lego Star Wars Castaways, and so I will read you the plot behind it, Mike. After
Okay.
crash landing on a mysterious planet in the middle of a maelstrom, players find they aren't alone in the new home. Meet up with brand new characters, connect with other players. It's a social hub of activity. You have racing microfighters. You acquire gear. You can challenge friends to battles, and you can uncover the mystery of the corruption that is altering simulations of historical moments spanning the entire Star Wars galaxy.
Oh, that sounds interesting, huh?
It is fun. Yeah. No, I was actually watching some YouTube streaming of it, since like I say, I do not own an Apple product that will allow me. I have an antique iPad that still functions but would not be this game would not be accessed on it. So I'm sad. Maybe it'll cause me to finally invest in some more Apple gear, because I love Lego games. That's my level of eye hand coordination when it comes to gaming, is the Lego. And finishing up here at Star Wars headlines, Mike, you have a new Who's the Boss?
I thought this episode came out great. I was really happy with it. It's one of those episodes where I didn't have to do any editing at the end, which I'm always really happy about because it's tedious. But my guest this week is Aubrey Ochoa from the podcast called The Convor Call, which is another Star Wars podcast. And we talked about the Clone Wars, the Dave Filoni version of the Clone Wars animated series and the movie that started it all in 2008 as part of the year-long 50th anniversary Lucasfilm retrospective I've been doing, which is wrapping up very soon, thankfully, because it was a lot to get through. But I'm glad that I committed, and it's finally the end is in sight. 4 more episodes, but yeah, I think this is a great one. I recommend listening to this one because I think it turned out really well.
Oh, fantastic. So that's Who's the Bossk. And if you want to keep up with Mike's Star Wars related adventures, be sure to follow him on Twitter at Who's the Bossk Pod. Otherwise, check out all of the content he brings to us at laughingplace.com, keeping us on top of all things within the Star Wars galaxy, whether it's movies, TV, in theme parks, or publishing arm. Mike keeps you as a Disney fan up to date on Star Wars here at Laughing Place. As for me, I'll be back here at 4 o'clock with our site manager, Rebekah Burbank, and we're going to be talking about all things merchandise because it's that time of the year when there are tons of sales and lots of merchandise hitting the shelves because people are doing their holiday shopping. So even though we were here yesterday for a Cyber Monday special, we're back today for some more merchandise chatting. And tonight at 7:30, right here on this very YouTube channel, my husband and our son will be hosting Disney Trivia Live. That is a really fun evening of hysteria and some trivia. Yes, Mike.
My wife's coming back from her trip today, and we're going to try and make it to trivia tonight. I'm very excited.
Oh, it'd be lovely to have you guys again. That'd be great. We always enjoy that. It's a very lively chat. So even if Disney trivia isn't necessarily your thing, stop by, check out the chat, jump in, have some fun. But if you like trivia, we have it head-to-head competition amongst Disney fans, and we cover a wide gamut of Disney trivia information, whether it's theme parks, movies, TV, all kinds of fun. So hope to see you at 7:30 this evening. And I guess until next time, Mike, have a good week, man. I'll talk to you next week, I think.
Yeah, I got to go read another comic, and then there's more tomorrow. So we'll have a lot to talk about next week.
Very, very cool. I'm looking forward.